My daughter is a freelance creator. She is talented, hardworking, and building a real client base. She was charging the same rate she set in her first nervous week of freelancing, 3 years later. When I sat down with her and ran the numbers on what she was actually earning per hour, after platform fees, non-billable time, and tax obligations, I nearly fell off my chair. So I did what any parent with personal finance experience would do. I figured out the fix. And today, I am sharing it with every freelancer who is in the same position. Welcome to Freelancer Retirement Lab. With years of personal finance experience and the parent of a freelance creator whose financial well-being I care deeply about. I started this channel because I watched my daughter and her creative friends earn real money with no financial foundation underneath it. No retirement plan, no tax system, no rate strategy. Someone had to translate what I know about personal finance into the language of the freelance economy. This channel is that translation. Subscribe now. New videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. The scale of the problem. Here's how widespread this is. 76% of freelancers worry about being able to put enough money into savings. That is not a minority concern. It is the overwhelming majority. Rate negotiation is the third most common challenge for freelancers, cited by 52%, right after income inconsistency and finding clients. And the data reveals why. The transition path for most freelancers is hourly to project-based to value-based to retainer. But most never complete this journey because nobody teaches them how. Most freelancers set their first rate based on what feels safe, what the market seems to accept, what a friend charges, what they saw on a forum. And then they stay there while their skills grow, while their experience accumulates, while the market quietly signals, through full booking and unchallenged quotes, that the price is a deal. The fix is not complicated, but it requires someone to explain it clearly. The real rate calculation. Before we get to the raise, let me show you the calculation that changes everything. The number most freelancers quote as their hourly rate is not their real hourly rate. Benefits can cost up to 40% of an employee's salary, costs that freelancers absorb entirely themselves. Platform fees can consume $5,000 to $10,000 per year on a $50,000 income, and the average freelancer spends approximately 30% of working time on non-billable activities: admin, proposals, revisions, chasing invoices. When you divide actual annual income by actual total hours worked, including every non-billable hour, the effective rate for most freelancers drops dramatically from their stated rate. A freelancer quoting $55 an hour who is spending 30% of time on non-billable work has an effective rate closer to $30. A freelancer quoting $80 an hour with significant platform fees and non-billable time may be earning the effective equivalent of $52. This calculation is the most important piece of financial clarity any freelancer can have. Because once you know your real rate, the conversation about raising it is no longer about confidence. It is about maths. 3 signals your rate is too low. Here are 3 clear market signals that tell you a rate increase is not just appropriate, it is overdue. Signal 1. You are booking at 90% capacity or more. When demand exceeds supply, price should rise. That is not negotiation theory, it is basic economics. Signal 2. Clients are accepting your quotes without negotiating. A client who says yes without asking for a discount is giving you data. The data says your price is a deal. Signal 3. You have delivered specific, measurable results for clients. Not just completed work, results. Higher conversion rates, more sales, stronger brand presence. Better products. When you can point to outcomes, your value is demonstrably above your current price. Any one of these 3 signals means a rate increase is justified. All three means it is long overdue. Here is the exact rate review email. This is how the framework works, and that I helped my daughter use with her own clients. This is called an annual rate review. You send it once a year, every year, to every client. Subject of the email can be working together in next quarter, next year. Hi, client name. I do an annual rate review to make sure my pricing reflects current market rates and the quality of work I deliver. For projects starting from date, my rate will be new rate. I have really valued working together and wanted to give you plenty of notice to plan accordingly. I am looking forward to continuing. Your name. 47 words in the body. No apology, no lengthy justification, no softening language. This works because it frames a rate increase as a professional standard, not a personal request. The best freelancers in every field review their rates annually. This email positions you among them. One critical edit. Remove any version of the word "unfortunately" from your draft. The moment you apologize for knowing your worth before you have even sent the email, you have already framed the increase as an imposition rather than a standard. What if they push back? If a client pushes back on the new rate, here is the response that both holds the increase and keeps the relationship. I completely understand that budgets need to be managed carefully. My current rate for clients moving to a monthly retainer is slightly lower than new hourly rate. That gives you priority access and predictable monthly billing. Would that structure work better for your planning? You are not reducing your rate. You are offering a different structure that has genuine value for both parties. A client who converts to a retainer at a slightly lower rate is now a more stable, more predictable, and more efficient relationship than an hourly project client. And the total monthly income from that client will likely be higher, because retainer work fills your calendar rather than appearing and disappearing. The retirement maths. Nobody shows freelancers. Here is what I want every freelancer watching this to understand, from someone who has spent years studying how money compounds. Every $10 per hour, a freelancer is undercharging costs approximately $10,000 per year at 1,000 billable hours. That $10,000, directed to a solo 401k at 7% annual return over 20 years, does not become $200,000. It becomes $387,000. Raise your rate by $10 an hour. Direct 20% of the additional income to your retirement account. Over 20 years, that single rate increase generates approximately $7,000 in additional retirement wealth. From one email. The financial case for rate increases is not about lifestyle. It is about the compounding wealth that every undercharged hour permanently forfeits. Here is the action step. This week, run your real rate calculation. Take your actual annual income. Divide by your actual total hours worked, including every non-billable hour. Write down that number. Then identify one client where any of the three signals is true. Draft the email. Remove any apologies. Send it before Friday. Here is the line I want every freelancer watching this to remember. A client who accepts your rate without negotiating is not being generous. They are confirming that you are undercharging. Stop treating that as a compliment and start treating it as information. Subscribe to Freelancer Retirement Lab. Drop a comment below. How long has it been since you raised your rate? Just the number of years. Stay tuned for our next video.